Okay, this is going to be a little bit of a different episode. It's going to be shorter. I'm just recording it on my phone. I know you guys heard the big announcement in the episode from last week where Matt and I kind of announced it on YouTube that we were moving to Steubenville. We have officially moved. It has been crazy, like nonstop crazy. So my poor son, we had told you Liam had a mouth infection. Well, it started getting bad again. We had a dentist that we were referred to from a friend here in Steubenville, which was so great. And this dentist is going above and beyond. And so I'm so appreciative. So I know that this is the Lord's will because we keep having people like this who are just helping. And it's just like, oh, thank you, Jesus. Like we couldn't do this move without this person. And everybody in Steubenville has been so wonderful and so helpful. We decided to drive through the night because my son's mouth wasn't looking good. And so we drove through the night. We got in at 3 a.m. and we had an appointment with that dentist the next day, or I guess that same day at 3 p.m. So 3 a.m. we arrive in with our overtired children, get everyone put to bed, and then we go to the dentist at 3 p.m. They look at his mouth. They order these, I forget what you call them. They're like it's like a retainer with fake teeth on it. I think they call them flip teeth or something. Anyhow, it's just a lot of craziness going on. And then obviously my kids are overtired. I'm overtired. And we're just needing to try to settle. We have friends that have so graciously let us borrow their house while they're away. He's studying at a university somewhere. So we're, house sitting for them / really just enjoying their lovely hospitality. And so just trying to get the kids settled and, it just kind of was a lot. And then there's an amazing Catholic Montessori school here that we're very excited about for our younger kids and just getting kids settled. And I feel like Matt was there, I think, for 2 days. And then he had to fly back to Georgia just to tie up loose ends with selling the house and also to do his Pints of Aquinas stuff and record more episodes. And so it's just really has been nonstop. And to make matters a little worse, my back was really bothering me just through the move. So I went and saw a chiropractor. The first time he adjusted me, I felt much better. The second time he adjusted me, this is us in Steubenville for, I think, 3 days at this point, maybe 4. So we got there on a Tuesday, and then on Wednesday I got adjusted. I felt better. Thursday I got adjusted. I felt worse. We went to Mass at Franciscan. I realized most of you listening, if you've heard of Steubenville, the University of Steubenville, all of us say Steubenville, but when you live in the town of Steubenville, they call the university Franciscan, which totally makes sense because it's Franciscan University of Steubenville. But I said that to someone. I was like, oh yeah, Steubenville. And like, you're in Steubenville. I'm like, oh, right, I meant the university. Like, we call it Franciscan. So we went to Mass at Franciscan, and the whole time I just was not comfortable, and I was getting like these shooting pains down my legs, and I just had a lot of hip pain, and it was just, a lot. And it just kind of progressively got worse through the day, and Friday was the same. Saturday was the same, and I would get these random shooting pains like up my spine or down my leg, and I'm trying to put on a smile, help the kids, do everything, trying to just create some type of order in this land of in between that we currently find ourselves. It is good. Like, I know that this is the step in the right direction. Like, this is where the Lord's called us, and I am excited for all the doors he's opening up for us in Steubenville. And I am in awe of his goodness. Like, even we're staying at a friend's house, but the next door neighbor happens to have a boy my oldest son's age and a girl my oldest daughter's age, and they get along great. And across the street, there's this lovely homeschooling family, and my kids are getting along well with them. And it's just good. And I don't know, people are just wonderful and very friendly. And I met up with a friend of mine who used to be part of my women's group in Houston, which was forever and ever ago. And it was just so no, but I'm recording an episode real quick. So anyhow, I met up with some old friends, one friend in particular I hadn't seen since before I even met my husband. And so it was just lovely to reconnect with her, and her family's just beautiful, and watching our kids play together. And Steubenville is not a perfect, beautiful town or city. I don't know. I feel like it's in the world and not of it. Like, yes, there is extreme poverty. There is, we were at Subway one day and there was a man that came in looking for money. I think he definitely was coming off of some type of drugs. But we bought him lunch, and it's like, and teaching my kids, like, this is part of loving your neighbor, like, yes, let's not make fun of this. My youngest son was kind of making fun of him, the way he was kind of holding himself and he was kind of twitching. And my older son was so embarrassed for him. And I was explaining to him, I'm like, he doesn't know, but listen, and so I did the best I could in a 6-year-old way. This man obviously has special needs and we need to be gentle and loving. He's like, oh, I didn't know. And it's like, yeah, that's okay. But we need to be charitable and loving, and we smile and we say hi, but we keep our distance because we need to be safe. And anyhow, it's just been a lot of things we've had to learn really quickly. And my kids normally, like, they have their moments of fighting, but they're not normally fighting a lot. And it's been a lot of fighting, which is just been trying on my patience and theirs. And then so my oldest turned 13 on Sunday. Saturday night, I was giving him a hug goodnight, and he like tapped me on the back, and I had shooting pains up and down my spine. And then it felt like numbness and tingles like at the base of my neck and at my tailbone. And my whole body just froze. Like, I couldn't move. It was so crazy. I've never done anything like that before. And it was scary. And so I threw my back out. And I think that the chiropractor that adjusted me, like, over adjusted me. And so, like, my hip, it basically feels like my hip's not in the correct spot. And so I called my friend Kate, and she came over with 2 young adult men that were quite strong that carried me upstairs and put me to bed. So super humbling, but it's just been one of those nonstop things. So I'm giving you this little update to ask for prayers. Please pray for my back for continued healing. I saw a chiropractor and he gave me what I'm calling the magic belt, so I can actually stand up and walk. But I'm still on muscle relaxers and steroids, so just a lot of pain. And our son Liam, on Tuesday, he will be having his 2 front teeth removed. And then also, it's just kind of a big surgery. They do something to the bone. I don't know if it's called bone grafting, but basically they hold the spot for those teeth until he gets old enough for permanent implants. So yeah, the grace is there. God is good. I definitely have a peace in all the craziness. Matt was telling me he read something about when you first move somewhere, you should ask a neighbor for a cup of sugar. So then you're like indebted to them, and then they're not afraid to like ask you for help to like really promote community. And I just thought it was really funny with my back. I'm like, my neighbor next door was bringing me some delicious gluten-free scones and banana bread, and she helped me go to the bathroom, which is so humbling. I like barely know this woman. She's beautiful. Her husband teaches at the university, so I think Matt and her husband knew each other before, but I just met her this week, well, when I moved there. And so it's so humbling to just to receive love in vulnerable situations like that. And people that I don't know were coming to pick up my kids to take them to school because I couldn't drive. One of our Among the Lily patron ladies, Sierra, is wonderful and amazing. And she came up. Matt has a work thing in Florida. So I'm actually in Florida with him right now, and she's babysitting our kids, but she came in early, and it's just such a help and so wonderful and loving to my kids. So pray for her for grace. And I'm in awe of God's goodness. And even getting through the airport, like I couldn't have done it without people helping me and wheelchairing me around or carrying my bag for me. And just people are good and beautiful. And I think that sometimes we don't see it, especially in this place where we find ourselves right now, where everyone's, very separate and isolated. And I saw a woman the other day pushing a stroller, and I was like, Liam, you should go help her. She was an older woman trying to push a trolley, and she had a cane. And he's like, I feel like she doesn't want me to help her, like, because of germs. And it's like, yeah, you're right. I don't know. Like, it's a weird place where, like, should we help? Should we not help? Like, I don't want to, we don't want to offend someone because or we don't want to expose them to our germs, but like we want to lend a helping hand. And I don't know. So I am just really just going on a rant at this point, but I wanted to let you know that we made it to Steubenville safely. Thank you for the prayers. We're going to be having some major changes to Among the Lilies. Pray for it. I've got to get some more equipment that we're going to order, and we're going to start doing YouTubing as well. So similar format for those of you that listen and watch Pints with Aquinas. We're going to do something similar. It'll still be Among the Lilies and still the same feel and vibe, but I'm going to be doing more video interviews face to face, which I think will be really good. So we may have a little hiatus. We're going to be under construction for a little bit. So I don't know if it'll be 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I promise within a month we'll have it going. So we just need time to get ourselves settled, get equipment set up, find a house, buy a house, move into a house, all this craziness. So if you wouldn't mind continuing to keep my family in your prayers, and just Patreon members, thank you so much for your support. You are the reason that I'm able to take Among the Lilies to the next level and to be doing video. I am so excited. I think it's going to be great. I'm thankful right now that this isn't video because I'm in a hotel robe and just talking to you on a couch. So I will do my best to attempt to brush my hair and put on real clothes and not be in pajamas as I'm recording like I normally do. But yeah, thank you so much for all your feedback and your prayers and support. And yeah, I'm excited for this next chapter. And I'm glad that you guys are on the journey with me. And please continue to pray for my family, for healing for my back and hips, and for Liam and his mouth, and just for transitioning. I would really appreciate the prayers, because it's a lot of transitioning, and but it is good. I know people have said before, like, how do you know that something's God's will? And I think things go wrong, but there is this underlying peace that I think that if this was not, because I'm not even sharing everything. There's been so much that's just been crazy since we moved. And Matt and I were just talking last night, and he's like, are you thinking maybe we shouldn't have done this? And I was like, no, like, I have this peace underneath that, yes, this is where the Lord's calling us. And I don't even know why he wants us in Steubenville, but I'm excited. I'm excited for it. And we're already getting plugged into this wonderful little Montessori school, and there's this great gymnastics thing, and just beautiful Catholics and neighbors, and I don't know, people helping. Like, I can't drive right now because of my back, and I got dropped off at the chiropractor, and I was like just texting a couple friends. Like, when I moved to town, I knew 2 people, maybe 3, no, 2. I knew 2 moving here, and now I have a handful. There's more like 5. But yeah, Anne from the coffee shop. I don't even know her last name, but I met her in Australia, and her name's Anne, and she's lovely and beautiful. But I texted her, and she gave me a ride home from the chiropractor. And I just was like, God is so good. Like, even like finding fellowship from, like, this girl works at the coffee shop, and she's wonderful and beautiful, and just very generous, and very much has one of those, I don't know, you just know, like, if you need something, you can call her. And I found that in a lot of people so far, and I'm just excited. And I will pray for all of you, and wherever you're at, especially those of you that are in more lockdown areas. I know Canada is getting really strict right now, and I'm praying for you. Just know you are not alone. I feel like in this season of weirdness and quarantine, you may feel isolated. You are not alone. Call a friend, FaceTime someone, listen to podcasts, but don't let Satan tell you that you're alone, because you're not. And there's community around, whether you realize it or not. So reach out to a friend. I'm praying for y'all. God bless. Thanks. Bye.